I think we have the management of Tilaknagar Industries now joining us, the first management of the program. Stock's done phenomenally well over the last 2-3 years. And of course, I mean, the latest round of excitement around Tilaknagar, of course, was, the liquor policy in Andhra Pradesh. Andhra and Telangana are important states for Tilaknagar. We have the management, Amit Dhanukar, CMD at the company, join us. The numbers came out some time back. Amit, good to have you with us here. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Prashant this side. Let's just get some basic hygiene numbers out of the way. H1 revenues were about 690 crores. Your guidance for the full year is 1,300 crores. H2, as I understand it, usually is much better for liquor sales. Would you want to revise that number upwards for the full year?
So you are Prashant. Good morning and good morning to all the viewers. You are quite correct when you say that H2 is typically better than H1, and that's traditionally been the case for us. So we do expect to be on track with our guidance.
Would you want to up it, Amit? Since
No,
you're already tracking 1,400 crores at this run rate, and you're saying H2
Yes.
will be much better.
So H2 will be better. I think we are just waiting for, Andhra, one of our key markets, which we have spoken at length before also. They've just gone through a policy change. The route to market has just recently changed. So we're just waiting for things to settle down. And certainly, I think if, we should expect the market has privatized, so we expect good traction over there. And that should help us, be on track.
But Amit, I understand that it's early days because this policy change, I think, came into effect only last month. So I know it's pretty early, but it seems to be a big move, right? Because there are, private vends that will open up, and we know what happened to states like Haryana, etc., when they went down this route in terms of just sheer consumption. So can you give us some projections? How much? What's the average sort of, sales that you've done in Andhra and Telangana earlier? What is the share as a percentage of the overall pie? And what happens? I mean, you're in the industry, you would know when retail goes private, to what extent does consumption go up?
So that's a good question. I think, but first, let me address the first part of the question. Andhra and Telangana both have been traditionally quite strong for our company in terms of our sales and brandy consumption. Approximately 50% of our total revenues come from both these states combined. And I think next 18 to 24 months, we wouldn't really see that changing too much. I think with privatization, I think what will happen is I think industry is quite hopeful that, the sales would increase. I think this government also has announced that the number of shops also, they will be increasing by 10%. So that should give further impetus to improving distribution in the state. And it's a progressive policy from what we have seen. But, keep in mind that when there's a dramatic policy shift of this kind, from government to privatization, initially for a quarter or 2 quarters till things settle down, there could be, some momentary blip. But if you look at the next 3 to 5 years, we are quite optimistic in terms of how it will turn out.
Okay, so at least tell us, if this policy change hadn't happened, how much were you expecting Andhra to grow at? 8 to 10%?
Again, yeah, maybe low single digit, and now we would say that it would be double digit.
Double-digit growth from Andhra.
Yes,
all right,
yes, definitely.
Hi, Amit. Good morning. Pretty early in the morning to talk about a drink. But, given that it's festive season, I thought you're going to go ahead and raise your guidance. But you're saying 1,300 crores, so we'll take that. But, a couple of aspects, the way you've evolved the business, just a brandy player or a flandy player. Now, in fact, you're looking at various other pockets. The Samsara Gin investment, that's working out well. From a customer perspective, y'all have gone ahead and increased your stake out there as well. So let's get a couple of numbers out of the way. When I visited your facility a year or so ago, I was, pushing you to say whether or not margins will improve. And you said you're confident from that 13% mark, it'll move up. First half of the year, you've done close to 17%. Is that sustainable?
So, Nigel, I'll just give a slight disclaimer over there. Margins, definitely, the margin profile has improved. 17% margin, which we see is, there's a subsidy amount which we have received from the government of Maharashtra. So, if you adjust for that subsidy amount, then the margins still come, at a healthy 15.5%.
And you can hold it around these levels?
We'll be able to hold it. I think commodity prices have stabilized. So I don't see any challenges on the commodity side this year. So we are quite confident that we'll be able to hold this guidance going forward as well.
Okay, got it. So 15.5% X of the incentives. With the incentives, it could be around that 17%, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
One more question I wanted to ask you. Since you've been trying to move away from brandy, and I've been looking at a couple of other bigger players like Pernod. they have been talking about sticking to premium brands, and that's where they're looking to sell Imperial Blue whiskey. That's an asset that's likely to be in the market, and various Ps and various other companies are interested. Since you're debt-free now and you're mentioning numerous times in your presentation you want to diversify away, could this be an asset you're looking at? It'll be a very large ticket one, but are you all interested?
So Nigel, I stick to earlier what we have said, that the company now with the debt-free position and free cash flows being generated, we will over a period of time we will look at moving both geographically and product-wise as well. We have launched Mansion House whiskey in Assam, which is a foray into whiskey. So certainly, I think
got that, Amit. But are you interested in Imperial Brew? Have you looked at that asset?
So, Nigel, I'll refrain from making any speculative comment right now. I think the only thing which I would like to say is that as a company, we continuously keep evaluating opportunities both organically and inorganically. You have seen we have made Samsara investment. We also recently invested in Bartisans, ready-to-drink cocktail mix. So we remain alive to what opportunities will emerge in the market and actively look at evaluating them.
That is not no, Nigel. I think you would have got a better answer, a straighter answer if you would asked, "Do you like the Imperial Blue whiskey?"
Do you like the Imperial Blue whiskey?
I wouldn't say it's definitely a great brand.
It's going to be a big asset if you go for it, because I'm reading a couple of articles which suggest it could be valued at 5,000 crores. But as you said, you could be looking at inorganic growth. You're looking to shift away from brandy as well, so we'll hold you at that one.
We'll look at prudent inorganic growth also, Nigel. I must add a disclaimer that.
Got it.
All right, not getting carried away. So that's good to know, and I think being conservative always helps. Investors appreciate that. Thank you very much for joining in, Amit. That's Tilaknagar Industries early in the morning. It's been a good quarter, and they're talking about a better second half.